Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to monitor Kafka logs using Elasticsearch. So first of all, here I mentioned some prerequisites. So the first prerequisite is we need AWS account with Ubuntu 24.04 EC2 instance. Then we need at least 2 CPU cores and 4 GB for RAM for smooth performance. And we need to install Java and Apache. If you install this Java and Apache, then okay. If you don't have, then we are going to install. So let's check how to monitor Kafka logs using Elasticsearch. Okay. So as you can see, first of all, here I launched my EC2 instance with Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. Okay. So let's start to monitor Kafka. So first of all, we need to update our system package. As you know the command how to update sudo apt update. So as you can see, it's updating our system packages. Okay, it's done almost. After that, here we need to install we need to install OpenJDK 17 for install Elasticsearch. Okay, that means Elasticsearch requires Java. So we are going to install OpenJDK 17 here. So let's install OpenJDK 17. Okay, it's done. Then after that, we are going to install Apache. In prerequisites, I mentioned we need Java, OpenJDK 17 as well as Apache. So that's why we are going to install both. Okay, it's done. So let me clear screen first. Okay, it's done. Now next step is let's install and configure Elasticsearch. So how, as you know how to install Elasticsearch. So first of all, let's import the Elasticsearch GPG keys. Then after that, let's add the Elasticsearch repository using this following echo command. Then let's update the system package before install Elasticsearch. Okay, now it's time to install Elasticsearch. So the command is sudo apt install -y Elasticsearch. So here we are going to install Elasticsearch. So it takes few seconds to install, so wait for few seconds. As you can see here, to install Elasticsearch, we need 648 MB and now it's installing. Yeah, as you can see, it's done almost. Okay. So as you can see here, we are going to install Elasticsearch 8.18.1. That's the latest version of Elasticsearch. Okay. So it's unpacking this Elasticsearch 8.18.1. Okay, it's done. We have successfully installed Elasticsearch. Now we are going to modify the Elasticsearch configuration file. So let's open the configuration file of Elasticsearch, and here we need to make three changes. So first of all, go to the networks, and in this network, first of all, let's uncomment this network host line, and we need to replace this IP with 0.0.0.0 IP. Okay, that means any IP can access. That's why here we are going to replace this IP with 0.0.0.0. After that, let's go to this discovery. And in this discovery, first of all, uncomment this discovery seeds host. And let's remove this host 1 and host 2. And then go to the security. And in this security, let's replace this true with false. Okay, now let's save the file and exit. Okay, after that, let's enable the Elasticsearch. Then let's start. So it takes few seconds to start Elasticsearch, right? So wait for few seconds. Okay. Now if you want to check the status, then you can check the status also. As you can see, it's active running and it's 5 seconds ago. Okay. Now send a GET request to check if Elasticsearch is running and responding. If successful, you should see the JSON response with cluster information. So let's check. As you can see the JSON response. Okay. If you want to access this in a browser, then you can access this also. Okay. Okay, so let's access this in browser. So first of all, you need to copy your instance IP, hit on browser, and your Elasticsearch port number is 9200. As you can see, the same JSON file in browser. Okay. Now, the next step is let's install and configure Logstash. So Logstash process logs before sending them to Elasticsearch, right? So let's install it using the following commands. The command is sudo apt install -y Logstash. So as you can see, Logstash installing. So as I told you, Logstash process logs before sending them to Elasticsearch. So that's why we are going to install Logstash. So it takes few seconds to install. As you can see, 18 seconds. Okay, it's done almost. Okay, it's done. After installing Logstash, we need to create configuration file of Logstash. So the location is /etc logstash config.d, and in this folder the file name is apache.config. So I'm going to create this file using Nano Editor. So in this file we are going to add this following code. Okay. So Here, first of all, as you can see, import Kafka, bootstrap servers, localhost 9092, then topics, the filter, match message, then timestamp, and so on the details. Okay. So let's save this file and exit. Okay. And then after that, let's enable Logstash. Then let's start Logstash. And after that, if you want to check the status of it, then you can check the status also. As you can see, it's active running. Okay. So here we have successfully installed Logstash in Elasticsearch. Okay. Now it's time to install Kibana. Okay. So Kibana provides visualization for Elasticsearch data. So let's install Kibana using the command sudo apt install -y Kibana. So as you can see, it's installing Kibana. So to install Kibana, we need 361 MB. So as you can see here, we are going to install Kibana on this. It takes few seconds to install. Yeah, it's done almost. Now it's unpacking Kibana. The version of Kibana is 8.18.1. That's the latest version of Kibana also. Okay, it's done. So after that, let's modify the Kibana configuration file. So let's open the configuration file. So first of all, here we need to uncomment this server host and this local host replace with 0.0.0.0 IP. Okay, that means any IP can access. Then here, as you can see, server port 5601. The Kibana port number is 5601. So we need to uncomment this line also. Let's scroll down and here in this system Elasticsearch, we need to uncomment this Elasticsearch hosts. Now let's save the file and exit. Then after that, let's enable the Kibana. Then let's start the Kibana server. And now let's check the status of it. Active running. Okay. So here we have successfully installed Elasticsearch, Logstash as well as Kibana. Now it's time to install Filebeat. So Filebeat collects and forwards log data to Elasticsearch or Logstash. So let's install Filebeat using the following command sudo apt install -y Filebeat. So yep, is installed file. Okay. After that, let's enable the Apache module in Filebeat. So Apache, here, as you can see, this enable, right? Okay. Then next is let's configure the Apache module using the following command. So the location is etc filebeat modules t apache.yaml file. So I'm going to remove this. So you can see here modules Apache enable true here, enable true replace with true, and then enter the var path. So I'm going to remove this file and replace with my file. So as you can see here, module enable Apache, then access enable true, then here var path, then error. Okay, here enable true and var paths. Okay, then let's save the file and exit. Okay, then after that, let's edit the Filebeat configuration file to ship logs to Kafka. So let's open this. And here you need to few changes. Okay, so first of all, here the first change is type. So here, as you can see, the type is file stream. So file stream replaced with log. Okay. Then next is this ID, my file stream ID. We need to comment this line. Then this enable false replace with true. Okay. Then path. Here you need to enter path. So I'm going to replace this path with my path. Okay. And then after that, let's scroll down. Let's go to the output. Yeah, right. Output. Okay. So let's go to the Logstash output here and let's enter. And here in this, you need to add this Logstash out in this Logstash output. Okay. Now let's save the file and exit. And if you make correct changes, then after run this command, is successful. Message will be successful. Test the configuration. Okay. So let's test the configuration. Okay. That means let's check for once something is wrong. Type log. Here we have successfully uncommented this ID my stream. Enable true. Okay. Then path. Let's check for the indentation. You need to careful about indentation. Okay. Then after that, yeah, right. Okay, okay. Let's scroll down. Let's go to the Logstash output. Okay, in this Logstash output, first of all, you need to go to the output, and in this output, you need to comment this output Elasticsearch as well as this host. Okay, you need to comment this for output Elasticsearch and host. Okay, and then after that, you need to add this data in this Logstash output. Okay, now let's save the file and exit, and let's check the configuration. Now, as you can see, config okay, that means you have successfully done. Okay, means make some correct changes. Okay, now let's start the Filebeat service. And then let's start the Filebeat service. So let's enable and let's start. And now let's check the status of Filebeat. It's done. Okay. As you can see, it's active running. That means it's okay. Okay. So now we have successfully installed Kibana, right? So let's access Kibana in browser first. Let's enter the IP, and Kibana port number is 5601. So as you can see, it's loading. So that's the dashboard of Kibana. Okay. So now the next step is let's install and config Kafka. So it's time to install and config Kafka. Okay. So let's install Kafka. So Kafka is responsible for streaming log data from Filebeat to Logstash. So let's install Zookeeper first. Okay. So let's install. Okay. Then next is let's download the Kafka from Apache official server. So that's the uh, link, and we are going to download the Kafka using wget command. So we need to wait for a few seconds. It takes few seconds to complete this Kafka. So wait for few seconds or sometime few minutes also we need to wait for it. So as you can see, it's 99% done. So, okay, it's done. So we have successfully installed Kafka. So we download Kafka. If you enter the ls command, as you can see the Kafka. So we need to extract this file. So we are going to extract this file using this star command. So let's extract the Kafka. Okay. Ls, as you can see, this is the extracted file of Kafka. Okay. So now let's copy the extracted Kafka file to standard installation location. So let's move to this location. Okay. Okay. Then let's start the Kafka server using this command sudo opt kafka bin kafka server start sh and server properties. So let's start the Kafka server. So as you can see, it's starting our Kafka server. Okay. Okay. Now verify the topics. Okay. So I'm going to open a duplicate tab because here the Kafka server is starting. Okay. So here I'm going to verify the topic using the following command sudo opt kafka bin kafka topics list. Okay. And as you can see here, consumer offsets and the topic name is Apache. Okay, so let's access this in browser. Okay, so how to access Apache in browser? Simply you can copy your instance IP and hit on browser. As you can see, this is your Apache server. Okay, okay. Now then next is next let's consume this message from Kafka. So I'm going to enter this. And let's access this message in browser. Okay, so before access this message in browser, as you can see, first of all, ensure the Elasticsearch is receiving data from Filebeat by checking this indicates. So as you can see, it's right, it's done. Okay, then after that, okay, it's done, right? Okay, then next is let's visualize the data in Kibana. Okay, so first of all, go to the menu bar from left corner and select Stack Management under the Management section. Okay, so let's go to the Kibana. Click on Explore My Own. Okay, so first of all here, let's go to the Stack Management. Let's scroll down. Here is the Stack Management. Okay, and in this, So wait a few seconds. Need to So as you can see, we need to refresh the page first. Okay. Then let's go to the menu bar and let's go to the stack management. Okay. And here in the stack management, let's go to the Kibana and data views. And let's click on create data view. And here in name, enter the Logstash. Okay. So here mention. Sorry. Enter the Logstash. Okay. So I'm going to enter the Logstash and text example also Logstash. Okay. And click on save data view to Kibana. Saved. Okay. Now let's go to the Elasticsearch. Then let's go to the scroll down and observability. Let's click on logs. After that, click on all logs. Go to the data views. Select Logstash. And as you can see the logs. Okay. Then after that, as you can see, to produce a custom test message, run the following command. So I'm going to run this following command. Here I'm going to enter these two messages. And the next one is that message is welcome to DevOps hint. We are generating a test message to Kafka. Okay. Now go to this Kibana, sorry, and let's refresh the page. Let's go to the logs. And as you can see the logs, we are generating a test message to Kafka, and after that we'll come to DevOps and the date and timing, as you can see. That's it. It's done. So in this session, we have learned how to monitor Kafka logs using Elasticsearch. So thank you for watching and I hope you understand.